Hey there YouTube, Mountain Boy here. Today I just wanted to share with you a recent hike I took to the Corkscrew Swamp. This is managed by the Audubon Society and is located in southwest Florida, just about 30 minutes outside of Naples. As you can see, it's kind of right on the edge of development and incorporates about 17 square miles. When going, there's a raised boardwalk about 2 miles long that takes you through all the primary ecosystems. The center is open daily from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., but you need to leave on your hike by at least 1 p.m. to be able to have enough time to do the whole tour. You want to go online, check out the website. There's lots of good information, and that's where you buy your tickets. It's about $17 for general admission, and kids are a little less, depending on age. As you can see here, there's 2 miles of boardwalk that runs through a series of different ecosystems. You can see here on the satellite view roughly kind of where we're going to go for our hike. This whole area of southern Florida used to be a series of interlocking waterways, marshes, and swamps. And as humans came in, they started putting in ditches and draining a lot of areas and breaking down this basic hydrology. Now, various government and local agencies are in the process of trying to restore the natural flow through these swamps. Okay, so let's get going. Today, the 2 mile boardwalk will take us through the 6 main ecosystems that are at the site, and we'll start here at the visitor center and the sign right at the beginning of the loop. Now you can see here we're starting in the pine flatwood ecosystem, and it's pretty easy. You could actually bring people in strollers or wheelchairs. It's pretty easy going, really kind of lots to see along the way. So gopher tortoise, and I'm not sure of what type of lizard, but there's just really neat things to kind of see everywhere. Eventually you start getting into the wet prairie ecosystem. When I was there during the winter, it was pretty dry, but in the summers there actually might be standing water in these areas. Finally, it gives way to the pond cypress ecosystems. I did see a couple of pileated woodpeckers. They're really hard to see, but you can kind of see their handiwork on the trees that are around you. So now the boardwalk starts going into kind of what you think of as a proper swamp and continues on. There's great signage everywhere that kind of explains what you're seeing, lots to learn about. There really wasn't many mosquitoes or anything like that. There were egrets and all sorts of other waterfowl that we saw. The bald cypress part of the hike was my favorite. Not only did it have soaring cypress trees that are about 500 to 1,000 years old, but it had a really interesting understory full of flowers and wildlife and all sorts of things to take pictures of and to investigate. Here you can kind of see a white ibis that I watched for a while as it was fishing amongst the litter. The trees here also have that kind of classic fluted bottom you'd think of with a swamp. This is one of the few ecosystems remaining that host the rare ghost orchid. They weren't blooming when I was there, but there was all sorts of other interesting botany to see. This tillandsia is kind of cool. They just kind of grow in the air without pulling anything from the trees. There's also these straggling fig vines that can get really large to the size of a tree in their own right and supposedly don't hurt the cypress. These lettuce lake ecosystems were probably the most biodiverse areas where you see the most wildlife that's out there, ranging from alligators to cormorants to egrets, all sorts of things. Just a really neat area where you can just kind of spend a few minutes or eat your lunch and just enjoy everything around you. One thing I did spot was this, 500 or 600 pound alligator that was just kind of hiding just off the trail. The trail's raised up, so it's safe. Then you see a lot more of the kind of the smaller residents, like this red-bellied turtle. Here's some of the lettuce patches that kind of give the ecosystem its name. These things just have all sorts of frogs and turtles and birds all around them. And you can see here the egret, which is kind of hunting amongst them. Well, it's time to start heading back, and we kind of go back through the same areas that we walked through earlier to complete the loop. We find ourselves back at the sign and at the headquarters. The headquarters had some really nice bathrooms and a great gift shop, so exit through the gift shop. Anyway, thank you for watching this. If you like, go ahead and like, share, and comment. Cheers.